all of you when I went out to Minnesota this past year. Hope you're all staying safe and healthy. But I'm really excited to be here today to walk you through some of my favorite draw drills. And if you don't take the draw, that's okay. I think that sorry, there's an airplane flying over me. I think that it's so great for girls, especially your age, to learn everything because you never know what position you'll be thrown into on different teams. And so I highly encourage everyone to keep their mind open and be open to learning all different things. And you never know how good you can actually be at something and if it'll help determine like the next chapter of your life on where you go and what position you play. So again, thank you all for joining me. Just a little background. I played at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and then I also played for the WPLL Brave and also for Team USA. So again, really excited to be here, and my advice to you is just to pay attention to the little details. I know that we're not in person and there's challenges with that. However, one thing that I've learned through doing virtual sessions is that it's forced me to really think deeper about the little small details and how small details can make a huge impact on your skill set and your play. So focus on the details. I'll be here watching, making some corrections and providing feedback. But if you have any questions, please feel free to type it in the chat, and I'm happy to answer. We ready? All right. So the first thing that I'm going to spend a little bit of time on is wrist strength. We as draw takers especially need to have really strong wrists. Now, if you don't take the draw and you're on the circle, wrist strength is important because we're jumping off the circle, trying to grab balls out of the air. If you're a defender, for interceptions, great to have good wrist strength. For attackers, wrist strength helps you with your shots because when we can't take power shots from far out and we're closer in, we have to rely on that nice snap of our wrist to have a nice hard shot. With passing and being in triple threat position, we're using our wrist to snap things. So really, really important no matter what, but extra important for the draw. So what you need is a ball and a stick and yourself. I'll move my camera down a little bit. So first thing we're gonna do is toe touches. So we're gonna take the ball, we're gonna have our hand all the way at the end of our stick. We're gonna tap the ground in front of us, bring our stick all the way over our head, and tap the ground behind us. Notice that I'm not using my body as momentum to get that stick. I'm trying to keep my body straight up the entire time, and I'm really using my wrist muscles and activating those muscles in my wrist to get that stick over my head. I'm also trying to keep my arm as straight as possible. I don't have chicken wing arms and I'm going like this. I'm straightening that arm and we're gonna do 10 over and back, okay? Over and back is 1. And then once we do 10, we're gonna switch hands. I hope my laptop does not overheat. It is hot today where I am. Good. Good. Annabelle, try and straighten that arm. Your elbow's a little, there you go. Good. Good job. So once you do 10, over and back is 1, you're going to switch. Because everything we do in our dominant hand, we do in that non-dominant hand as well. So in that non-dominant hand, if you have to choke up on your stick a little bit, please feel free to do so. As you start to get better though, I want us to have that hand all the way at the bottom. Good work, girls. So I spend a lot of time on wrist strength, and you'll see for the later drills why it's very, very important. Because if we can't grab that ball out of the air and maneuver through traffic with one hand after a draw, then us mastering that self-draw doesn't mean anything, right? Because we need to be able to grab that ball out of the air. So wrist strength is super, super important, and I promise it'll help elevate your overall play. And on all sides of the field, not just the draw. All right, looks like some of us are finishing up with the 10. All right, so now we're gonna go side to side. So similar concept, shake those wrists out. We're gonna tap the ground to the side of us, go over our head, and tap the ground on the other side, okay? So same concept, but now instead of going forward and back, we're going down. Remember, I'm not bending my, hit the pool thing. I'm not bending my knees to get my stick to the ground, all right? I'm not using my body to help me. It's all in the wrist. Try not to hit the pool skimmer. And touching the ground in front, to the side. Again, 10 each way. This should burn if you're doing it right. Good. Good, Annabelle. Good job, Chloe. That's perfect. I'm sorry for the background noise. It's a nice day today, so everyone's taking advantage and doing yard work. Good. So remember, once you do 10 on one hand, we do it on the opposite hand as well. Good job, girls. Once you finish up, you can just stop and wait, and I'll move on to the next one. Good job. Can you all hear me when I talk? They're cutting a tree down next to me. Can you thumbs up? You can hear me? Okay, perfect. I'll try to talk loud. All right, so the next one, we're gonna toss the ball up in the air and kind of mimic that motion when we're grabbing the ball with one hand, okay? So we're tossing it up, turning our stick around and catching it. I'm gonna drop the ball for a second. So when I'm doing this, we don't need to throw the ball up really high. It's just a little toss, and I'm using my wrist to toss it up. I'm not bending my knees and using my whole body. I'm bending that wrist, tossing it up, twisting my stick, and then grabbing it like that, okay? So we like to get in a little rhythm when we do this. Again, we're doing 10, but it's a toss, grab, toss, grab, toss, grab. Notice the ball is not in the air for that long. It's just a nice toss, twisting that stick and grabbing it. So now we're working on our wrist strength, but also that motion that we want to do in order to snag that ball. I call them snags. We're snagging it out of the air. Okay, so again, we don't need to toss it super high. The goal is to catch it with the ball here, turn our stick and give with it, and catch it like that, okay? Here, catch, toss, catch. The ball is barely leaving my strings. I'm keeping it tight. I'm getting in a nice little rhythm and doing 10. And then we switch. This is fun, non-dominant. Switch to our non-dom. Again, the ball is barely coming off of my strings. Good, Annabelle. Good, Chloe. So Bella, try and grab it. Instead of just throwing it up and catching it like this, we're throwing it up, turning our stick, and then grabbing it out of the air like this, and turning it out of the air. Oh, it is loud. I see people shaking out their wrists. That's a good thing. That means you're doing it right and you're getting stronger. Painful at first, but it'll all pay off. Oh goodness, it is loud. Good job. Once you do both hands, wait until you're ready for the next one. All right, so last one that we're gonna do is we're gonna flip the pancake, okay? We're gonna throw the ball up, twist our stick around, catch it on the back of our stick, and then toss it back up. Again, I'm using my wrist the entire time, okay? I'm not moving my arm that much. It's a dip in the wrist, toss, flick my stick around, catch, and back. Toss, catch, back. All right, and again, this is another one we want to get in a nice little rhythm like this. I'm using all of the muscles in my wrist to keep this ball going. And we're gonna do 10. That one's a quick one. And then we switch. This is a lot harder with our non-dominant, so my homework for you girls is to practice, practice, practice. I don't care if you don't take the draw. Like I said earlier, it's so, so important. It helps us with smooth hands, our touches, soft hands, and our wrist strength. Good, Chloe. Good, Annabelle. Try and keep your body straight, though. There you go. Good. Good, Kylie. Good. When you're finished with both hands, we'll get started into some more technical things. All right. All right, we ready? So now we're gonna go into doing some quick whistles. Now this is a great, can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me? Okay, perfect. It is so loud here, I can't even hear myself. They're like cutting down a tree. There was a really bad storm and I think a tree fell down and now they're just getting rid of it. But anyway, so we're gonna do some quick whistles. Quick whistles are super, super, super important for our quickness. I think at your age, I see a lot of girls who just try and push as hard as they can to win a draw, but that's not the key to winning the perfect draw. Now, if your goal is to push it out to get it out away from your opponent, that's fine, but we want to be in control. We want to try and win that ball to ourselves, and it's all about quickness. We don't need to push hard. It's can we get that ball on the back of our stick before our opponent. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to do righty, okay? So my advice is to learn all different ways to take the draw. I think that's what made me successful, is that I had multiple tricks in my pocket. I didn't just take it one way. If one way wasn't working, I was able to switch to another and adjust and be agile and then use that one for an opponent that I might have been struggling with a different technique. So first one we're going to do is righty. You don't need a ball. You just need your stick. So a couple of tips. One, hand all the way at the top of our stick. Super important. Two, underneath grip, okay? Not here. When we're like this, you can't twist and get the ball out fast, right? We want to be underneath so we can get that quick pop, okay? So hand at the top, underhand grip. Second, we want our stick head close to our body. The further we are, it's really hard to control. So that's why we have our hand at the top. If my hand's lower, my stick is further away from my body. If I move it up, it's closer. Now, I have to be even closer. So my my arm is in a 90-degree angle right now, and it's very close to my body, okay? We don't want chicken arms like this. It's very hard to control. So I'm close to my body. I put my right foot forward. You can put any foot forward. I think that's a personal preference. And my feet are in a nice athletic stance, okay? So the goal here is to get that ball on the back of our stick and then pop it out where we want it to go. So the first movement we're gonna do is like we're starting up a motorcycle. We're taking this bottom hand and flipping the stick over, okay? So I'm here, this bottom hand is doing like a motorcycle, and see how I'm just flipping my stick over? So that's the first move we're gonna do. And you're gonna do it as fast as you can, okay? So I'm here, I'm gonna blow the whistle, and you're just gonna turn that stick over. Turn over as fast as you can, okay? When I blow the whistle. Are you ready? Good, and a reset. Good. Whitney, put your stick up like you're taking the draw, so like this. Right now you have it like that. Go like this, the back of your stick should be facing the camera. Good. And put it in your right hand. Yep, there you go, right hand. So your right hand, yeah, we're gonna do lefty next. Good. Okay. Good, all right, now that we get the ball in the back of our stick, the next thing is we pop up, okay? So we're twisting our stick, and now we're driving this bottom hand towards our same leg that our stick is in. So it's in my right arm, my right hand. I'm pushing this bottom part of my stick in my bottom hand towards that right leg, okay? So now we're gonna start like this, like we just ended. So our stick is gonna be face down. And when I blow the whistle, you're gonna push that bottom hand down towards that knee as fast as you can, okay? So it's gonna be like this when I blow the whistle. Really fast, and then reset, okay? Ready? Good. Okay, girls, some of you are like standing straight up. We wanna be in a really nice athletic stance, and our stick should be close to our body. Good. All right, now we're putting it all together, okay? So it's a twist, pop motion, but we're doing it all together. So when I blow the whistle, you're gonna do the motorcycle and pop at the same time, all right? So it's gonna be tweet, 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 tweet. Don't forget this twist, okay? A lot of the times I see girls just go like this and push out. See the difference between this is the wrong way and this? See how I had that extra twist and pop? Twist, pop. But we want to put it all together in one motion. So as I'm twisting, I'm using that momentum and driving. So I'm twisting and pushing this bottom hand down towards my front leg at the exact same time. All right? Are we ready? Everyone, the stick should be in your right hand. You can't take the draw like this lefty. It won't work. So if you have it in your left hand, put it in your right hand. Ayla, I think that's your name. Yeah, there you go. Good. All right, here we go. Good, all right. So now, what do we do after, I guess you're all on mute, but what do we do after we do that? We have to grab the ball, all right? So now when I blow the whistle, you're going to do it, and then you're gonna slide that hand down and grab it and step and grab out of the air like an imaginary ball, okay? So it's gonna look like this. If you wanna grab it with your left hand, go for it. I slide this hand down and grab it with my dominant hand. Okay, good. My whistle thing's getting stuck. All right, ready? And then reset. Good. Tyler and Riley, whoever's on the right. I guess my right. Yes, and the one with the gray shirt. Look, yes, you with your stick up. So instead of grabbing it, you're going like this and then grabbing it like that. We want to go like that and snag it out of the air, right? If we wait for the ball to come down, we're not going to get it. So when you go up, you're turning your stick around and grabbing it like that one draw Joey did. All right, so now grab your ball. If you are inside, this is not a drill for inside, but you can do the motions. You don't need a ball. So like a modified version, you can do it without a ball. You'll just, with the ball, we can practice, okay? So now we're gonna put the ball on the back of our stick. When I blow the whistle, you're gonna pop it up and grab it with one hand. If I say forward, you're grabbing it with one hand, tapping the ground in front of you. If I say back, you're grabbing it out of the air, tapping to the back. So this goes back to the drill we did earlier. If I say left, you're tapping it to the left, and if I say right, you're tapping to the right. Now in a game, obviously, when we grab a ball out of the air, we're not gonna tap the ground in front of us. This is to help you with your grabs out of the air, out of a draw, and then our wrist strength afterwards, okay? So this is just combining a couple of things. All right, so I'll show you what it would look like. Right. And then reset. Put it on the back of your stick. Oh, the sun, I can't see. Forward. And then reset, okay? You got it? So put that ball on the top of your stick, get in your position, and then pop it up by driving that bottom hand and popping it up high, okay? And then act like you're grabbing it out of the air. Yup, Whitney, act like you're grabbing it out of the air and then tap in front, okay? All right, ready? Right. Good, Chloe. Good, Keely. Reset. Forward. Reset. Back. Reset. Side. Oh, left. Sorry about that. Reset, last one. Back. Good. Good job. All right, so now I just want to go over directing the ball really quickly. So now what if we want to get the ball behind us, okay? So in our right hand, if we want the ball to come up behind us, we need to adjust this second motion, okay? So the one that we went over was the basic here and then pop up to the side. Now, how do we direct the ball? We're always gonna do this first motion first and this second motion, right? So it's here and then driving that bottom hand towards that top leg. It's where are we following through is where we wanna get the ball. So if I wanna get the ball more in front of me and then to the side, I'm twisting and then I'm still driving this bottom hand, but now I'm popping in front, right? If I wanna get it to the side, I'm twisting, popping to the side. So it's the same thing as lacrosse. Wherever your follow through goes is where the ball will go. If I want to go behind, I'm twisting, still driving this bottom hand down, but then popping over my shoulder, okay? So that is how we direct the ball. Side, pop this way. Forward, twist, pop in front. Back, twist, pop behind, all right? So I just want to touch on that real quick for our second drill that we're going to do later. Okay, so now I'm going to go into lefty. So let's put it in our left hand. So now that it's in our left hand, see how when it's in my right hand, the back of my stick is facing the camera? That's because I'm pushing this way. Now when it's in my left hand, we switch and the inside of my stick is facing the camera because now we're getting the ball this way or we're getting it in front. I take it lefty like this and pop it in front of me, all right? But we're gonna go over it both ways. So left hand all the way at the top, same stance with our footwork. Now it's the same concept, except now that my stick is facing out instead of going behind, obviously that's not gonna work, right? Now we're taking this bottom hand and putting the back of our stick facing the sky. So instead of going like this, we're going like that, okay? So it's a forward and then pop, all right? So we're gonna go with the first motion. Let's start this way, trying to pull the ball back behind us. So let's get our right foot on that line and our left foot. So if I am taking the draw and I am on the line, we just stood like this, righty. Now I'm lefty. I'm gonna put my right foot, turn my body like this towards my stick head and act like I'm pulling it this way, okay? So we're gonna be here, we're gonna twist forward and now drive this bottom hand down, again, towards that same leg, okay? So I'm facing this way to twist, pop, but we're just gonna do this twist first, all right? So now I'm gonna be doing like facing what you guys should look like to me. Get that right hip facing me, left foot shoulder width apart. Pretend like the line is right here, all right? So that first whistle, it's just gonna be here, reset. Tweet, here, reset, all right? Ready? Hand all the way out at the top, right hip towards me. We're acting like so now I'm you guys, we're acting like we're pulling over here. All right, ready? Just the first motion. Good, Annabelle. Good, all right, now let's add that second motion. So we're putting it all together. It's here, and then driving this bottom hand and trying to pop over this back shoulder, okay? So it's tweet and here, but we're making it one motion. So as we twist, we're driving that bottom hand and popping, all right? So it's not a this, all right? We're not, now if we want to pull as hard as we can, that's great, but we're working on the twist and popping it straight up. So it's really here and then pop, tweet, but we're gonna put it together. All right, so this is what you should look like. So I'm twisting and then punching near my left leg. All right, here we go. Good, Chloe. Annabelle, hand all the way up and close to your stick head. Now bring your elbow in. Bring your elbow in, your top, yeah, there you go. Ayla, put it in your left hand. We're doing lefty now. Yep, now face your stick the other way. Twist it around. Twist around your stick. Yep, there you go. Good, all right, now quickly I'm just gonna go over how to get it in front of us, okay? This is how I take it. This is my favorite way, and there's a couple reasons why. I'm facing my defensive end, right? Because there's gonna be someone pushing righty, possibly going the same way. I'm using their pressure, trying to steal the ball out of their stick, dig it out, and pop it right in front of me, okay? So now our feet are facing forward like this, rather than to the side, we're facing forward, okay? So if the line was here, we were just like this, we're like this now, all right? So if the line is right in front of me, like this stick is the line right here, my toe is on the line, I'm twisting my stick and now driving that bottom hand towards this left leg. Same concept. Again, if I wanted to get it more forward, I'm finishing this way. If I wanted to get more to the side, I'm popping this way. If I want to get it behind me, I'm popping that way. But this same motion is always going to happen. It's just where do we open up our stick, okay? So slight bend in the knees, we're going to say tweet. We're going to put it all together. It's twist, pop, like this. And we're going to reset. See how fast I can do it because of all of my practice? So I'm twisting and driving down at the same time. Ready? Good, Chloe. Good, Annabelle. Good, Ayla. Good. All right, let's get that ball back on our stick. We're doing the same drill as we did before, okay? But now we're putting it in our left. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have it in your left hand like this. I'm gonna say tweet. You're gonna pop it up, grab it, forward. Reset. Tweet, grab it, back. Reset. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself with the ball. The only reason why I'm not throwing it super high is one, because I can't see where I'm at right now, and two, I'm trying to keep the ball in frame so you can see the ball. But don't be afraid to challenge yourself and throw a super high one and jump up and grab it. Okay? I highly, highly encourage it. I'd rather you drop the ball trying to do something that's challenging than just be safe and do things that are the easy way out, because it's easier, okay? All right, we ready? Forward. Reset. Back. Good, Annabelle. Way to challenge yourself and jump up in the air. Left. Right. One more. Back. Good. All right, so now that we got that done with, now we're gonna work on actually directing the ball where we want it to go. So it's the same concept. We're gonna go back to our right hand now. And you're gonna have it on the back of your stick. I'm going to say forward. I'm not blowing the whistle now. Now I'm just saying either forward, back, or side. So if I say forward, we're popping it in front, trying to follow through where we want the ball to go, and grabbing it. If I say side, we're popping it to the side and grabbing it. If I say back, we're popping it over and grabbing it, okay? So it should look like this. I'm gonna move this way so I can see it. Go left here. So if I say forward, it's forward. And then back here. If I say side, it's side. Grab it to the side and reset, okay? I want you to challenge yourself. Once you grab it out of the air, I want you to bring it in and reset. Back, behind you, reset. Side, all right? So that's what I want. Any questions? You guys got it? Again, we're working on following through to where we want that ball to go. Ready? We're all righty. Forward. Good, reset. Girls, this is working on directing, but also grabbing that ball out of the air. So we want to get the ball at the highest point. That's why we work on wrist strength. Jump up there. Don't wait for the ball to come down and land in your stick. Snag it out of the air. And that's why that snag drill we did in the beginning is so important, because if we just wait for the ball to fall in our stick, someone else is going to snag it, okay? All right, here we go. Side. Good, Chloe. Reset. Back. Pop over that back shoulder and open towards the ball. Good. So when we go back, girls, we want to go with our stick. So if I'm going back, I want to open up as my stick is moving. So when I'm going like this, I'm opening with my stick. I saw a couple of you girls go back, but then turn this way. All right, we're using our momentum and opening up with our stick. All right, I'm coming back. Forward. Annabelle, put that hand underneath. There you go. I know it seems uncomfortable if that's how you've been doing it your whole life, but I promise you when you get to the higher level, that quickness is so important and underneath grip is way better, okay? All right. Back. Reset. Side. Reset. Forward. All right, good job, girls. So now we're gonna switch it to the left hand, all right? So I like to stand for this drill with my feet forward because we can go back, forward, or side. But if you know in a game you're gonna drill backwards, you can feel free to twist your feet. But in the purpose of this drill, we're still working on this movement, so I like to stand with my feet forward, okay? All right, so same concept again. It's gonna be forward, pop in front, reset. Back, behind, grab it, reset. Again, jump in the air. I'm just trying to keep the ball in frame. And then side, side, grab, reset. All right? Coming back to the screen. Let's go lefty. Back. Pop over that back shoulder. Good. Good.
You
Hear me now?
You're better now. You're better now.
Okay. I think my laptop's getting really hot. It just told me that my audio wasn't working, but I can see it's working now. Okay. Ready? How do I connect to Bluetooth? And go to devices. Oh. It's saying that it's not working. Can you hear me yet?
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear?
I can.
You can hear me now?
Yep.
Perfect. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. If you can't hear me, let me know. And then I'm just gonna stay right here. I think the laptop got overheated. It's saying that my speaker's not working, but all right, that was the end of that drill anyway, so we're gonna move on to the next one. You guys can still hear me? Perfect. All right, so for the next drill, now we're gonna work on what do we do after. And this is the last drill, and then I'm gonna do a Q&A at the end. So Make sure you girls are working hard on this one. This one's a little bit more tiring, but that's okay. So now I'm going to say forward, back, or side. You're gonna pop it up and we're gonna work on our footwork after. So after we grab the ball, we all know in the draw control that there's a huge like mosh pit of people. Everyone's fighting to get the ball. Everyone went up to grab it. And so we need to work on what do we do after. So when we grab the ball, it's so important to bring it in immediately. So what we're gonna do is if I say forward, you're gonna pop the ball up, grab it. So we're gonna jump and grab it. You're gonna bring it in tight. You're gonna back up like this, take 2 shuffles, switch hands, and then run 3 steps, okay? So it's a forward, grab, bring it in, shuffle back, switch hands, and run forward, all right? So the key to this is we never want to turn our back, and we tend to do that. When we grab it, if I grab it out of the air and there's a person right here, and I go like this, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna get checked, right? So what we're doing now is if we just grabbed it, there's people all in front of us, no one's behind us. This is if no one's behind us. And we're trying to run backwards like this, have them chase us, and then slip right by them and off to the races, okay? So one more time, say, this is a demo. Forward, grab, bring it in, and then run, all right? So notice that when I'm doing my side shuffle, I'm not stepping here and switching. I'm going from here to forward and switching. My first step is always forward. That is super important for this, okay? So remember, crossover run back, switch hands in front, forward, all right? We got it? Any questions? We're good? All right, let's get set. Now you can take this, we're doing righty first. Okay, forward. Good, Chloe. Make sure we sprint out of it, girls. So we're not gonna do a lot of these, but this should be tiring. So one thing I wanna mention, we don't wanna backpedal. It's just to mimic what this is, we're grabbing it, there's a bunch of people right in front of us, we're twisting it, we're not backpedaling. It's oh crap, there's a lot of people there. Now I'm side shuffling back, but it's a crossover run. So it's this, keeping my eyes up, and then forward, all right? So let's work on that crossover run. Reset. Tweet. Oh, side. That's better, Chloe. Good job, Whitney. I know you're inside, but wait a minute. That's perfect. Good job. It's the motions that matter in this, so it's okay if you don't have a ball or where you're at. We want to make all of this muscle memory, and that's the key. All right, reset. Back. Good. Last one. Forward. All right, good. So now we're gonna change it up a bit. We're doing righty again, and then we'll switch to lefty. Now we're going to grab it out of the air. We're going to fake pass forward. Now we're going to do a roll dodge. So it's a pump fake, they go that way, roll dodge, and then continue, okay? So really quick. Forward, pump fake, roll dodge, and run that way, all right? One more time. It's easier for me to show it than to explain it since it's virtual, but here, grab it, pump fake, roll dodge. Do not switch your hands until the stick is in front of you like this. Like I said earlier, if I pump fake here and turn my back and switch my hands, I'm going to get checked. This is more of a roll dodge rather than turning and running. So roll dodge is fine. We never want to turn and run away. Pump fake, roll dodge, and run the other way, okay? Ready? We're going righty first. Tweet. Sorry, up, forward. Good, good. So we want to keep our feet moving the entire time. I know we want to go slow at first, but we want to keep our feet moving. So if you have the space, make sure you're running rather than just pump faking your stick, or we'll get annihilated in the middle, right? We got to work on keeping our feet moving. All right, ready? Forward. My dog is going crazy behind me. Reset. Back. Good, much better. Side. Good. Reset. Forward. Good. Last one. Side. Good. All right, let's switch to our left hand and catch a little breather. Good work, girls. So the key is to keep our feet moving. All right. Ready? We're gonna do the first one first, okay? So it's lefty up, grab it, side shuffle back, switch in front and go. All right, here we go. Forward. Good. Back. Side. Reset. Forward. Last one. Side. Good. All right, take a little breather. Last one we're gonna do right now is the second one. So the pump fake and then roll out. My dog just went crazy behind me in the backyard, and I don't know why, but she is covered in mud right now, so I don't know what she just did while we were doing that. All right, ready? So go hard for these ones, because after this, we're done. Side. Good. Reset. So we don't want to really like spin around. We want to keep our feet moving and going in a certain direction. So rather than spinning around in circles, try and keep your feet moving after the pump fake, turning out, waiting to switch our hands until our stick is in front of us because we don't want to get checked and then running out of it, okay? Ready? Side. Reset. Forward. Back. back. Reset. Forward. Good. Side. All right, last one, girls. Forward. Good work. All right, so like I mentioned, I like to save at least 10 minutes at the end of every session I do. But I went a little bit over because I apologize for the technical difficulties that I was having, to do a Q&A. So feel free to unmute yourself, I guess. There's not that many of us, so feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question, or if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can type it in the chat. It can be questions about the draw, it can be questions about WPLL, college, recruiting process, high school, what I'm doing right now during quarantine. It could be anything. So like I said, don't be shy. Usually it takes like a couple minutes or a seconds for someone to finally ask a question, and then everyone has a ton of questions. So please feel free to write your question now. And like I said, don't be shy, because you have me now and you don't know when you're going to have me again. All right, I see some people typing.
What?
And so, oh, go
What-
ahead.
Training.
What? Did someone have a question? What is your dog's name? My dog's name is Maisie. She's being bad right now, I think, because I turned around and she had mud all over her. She's a puppy. She's not one yet. She'll be one in a month. Coaches, feel free to also ask questions that you think would be good for the girls as well. I know coaches like to ask questions, but I have one here. How much stick work should we be doing every day? So my answer to this always, it's a similar question. How many hours should we be putting in a week? My biggest advice is find time to do it every day, but you don't have to set like a dedicated, like, okay, I have to spend 2 hours tomorrow, an hour like the next day, and a total of 8 hours a week doing lacrosse related things. Set aside time for yourself. Like if you only have 10 minutes before you have to go do something and you have a wall, or you don't even need a wall to do stick work, like do it in those 10 minutes. Every second of time that you're spending practicing your stick work, practicing your shooting, your dodging, is time that you're putting in to get better. And so I would always say, like, some days I would have more time and I would have 2 hours to do a bunch of things in my backyard. And other days, instead of just like wasting that 10 minutes sitting around doing nothing, I took advantage of that. And so obviously right now we have a lot of time on our hands because we don't have to go to school and we're almost finished with school and we don't have much to do. So take advantage of every second that you have to work on your weaknesses, and obviously still work on the things that you're good at, because there's always room for improvement. But I would say, like, try to do something every day, but don't say, okay, I have to do an hour of this. Like, even if it's 10 minutes, that's putting in extra work. How do you keep yourself motivated right now during quarantine without being able to play with your teammates? So that's a great question. Was really tough at first, and I think the tough part about it is we have no idea when we're going to be able to play again. And so I think for my entire life, I always had something to look forward to. I knew I had a training weekend in June. I knew I had my season coming up, and like I was always my motivation was for that. And now I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm running out of ideas and this and that, but really what's keeping me motivated is my teammates, because I want to make sure the second that I am able to step out on the field again, I am the best teammate, the best individual player that I can be. And that's what's keeping me motivated. Everything I'm doing is for them, for my coaches, and for the love of lacrosse. And I think that, you know, if you're having a tough time staying motivated, thank goodness for technology. Do a Zoom stick work session with your teammates. Take things that you're learning from me, from Kylie, from other people that are joining these, and do them on your own, because you just doing them during these sessions isn't going to really do much in the long run. It's repetition, repetition, repetition. So schedule some Zoom sessions with your friends, hold each other accountable, and keep each other motivated that way. How did you deal with nerves and stressful situations last game? So I think it's a lot easier said than done to like, don't be nervous, just play. Like the amount of times I've heard that. And I think really for me, like confidence is so important. And that's something that took a while for me to build up. And when I first got to UNC, I struggled a lot with confidence because I was one of the top recruits in the nation. And then I got there and everyone was good around me. And I felt like I had to like live up to the hype, and my confidence levels were just not there. But the way I built my confidence was I just continuously worked hard to be the best individual I can be. And when you build that confidence, it's really, really a lot easier to not be as nervous and just play in games. So work hard, work on your weaknesses, get better at them, and you're going to build so much confidence through that. What is your favorite cheat quarantine food, favorite ice cream flavor, favorite show to binge? So I would say, well, I have ice cream every single night. I don't have a favorite flavor. I just like love all different types of ice cream. But if I was going like chocolate vanilla, like soft serve, I would do vanilla with rainbow sprinkles. And then my favorite cheat quarantine food is pizza. I have it every Friday. So we do pizza nights. If you girls follow me on Instagram, I make like homemade pizzas every Friday. But last night it wasn't homemade because it was the first time I was able to go home. And so I got it from my favorite pizza place here. But that's my favorite cheat quarantine food. When did you first start playing lacrosse? I started playing in 3rd grade. So, and I don't know if I answered this, what club team did you play for? I played for South Jersey Select. A couple of other things I wanted to mention while I wait for some other questions to come in. I know that like going along with it being really hard to stay motivated, I think like a lot of us are really nervous because we're not with our teammates and not practicing as much, but I think like use this to your advantage and work on those weaknesses when no one's watching, and work on things that you probably would be too afraid to work on in practice because you want to impress people, and then come back to practice whenever that is, and just like you're like it's significantly noticeable on like how much stronger you are in certain parts of your game, and that's what's keeping me motivated. Just like knowing like when I step on the field, I'm going to have so much energy and like show off what are the things that I've been working on during this time. What is your go-to dodge? It's the split dodge down the alley, left to right, down that right alley with no one on my right side, and then a power shot. And I am doing a lot of dodging clinics, girls. So if you follow me on Instagram, I post everything that I do, just a heads up. So there's a lot more different things that we could do at home, not draw related as well, that I've been doing and teaching. How much communication do you do on the circle with other teammates? That is the biggest, most important thing. I would not be the draw taker I am today without my teammates on the wings. Like I credit them fully, because if they're not boxing out, if they're not on the correct side that we're communicating, I can't grab the ball out of the air. And so I credit them completely. Communication on the circle is so important, and we made up signs and certain signs for where the ball was going. So my girl knew which side to be on of her opponent, and she would box out, or I would draw to that space and she could run onto it. So that is super, 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 super important. What is your favorite position? My favorite position is midfield, because I get to be a part of every single aspect of the game, except for being goalie, from the defensive end through midfield transition onto the attacking end. I think just knowing that I'm having an impact on anywhere on the field is something that I take pride in, and I think that two-way midfielders are really hard to find. So if you can sharpen your skills on all parts of the field, you will be a star recruit, and I am telling you that right now. Coaches crave players who can do everything, because when you get to college, your position will most likely change unless you are a really, really good defender who has midfield potential, or you're a straight up awesome midfielder. So learn to do everything. If you can do everything, you will find yourself on the field immediately. That is my biggest advice for you. Obviously, I'm a midfielder, and I am biased, but there are a lot of great attackers out there. There are a lot of great defenders. It is hard to find people that can do everything. So midfielders, work on your defense is basically what I'm saying. I can do everything, including goalie. Well, look at you. You are ahead of the game. That's awesome. All right. So last question. Well, Pete, I'll answer yours at the end. But the last question I have from you girls is how can you tell when it's a good time to direct draw forward, backward, side? So a good time is noticing where your circle girls are. I'm not going to want to draw it forward if there's girls right in front of me. I'm going to want to do it to the side where that gap is. So wherever that gap is where I want to go, or where I want my girls to run onto. So that's when I know. I'm drawing it to the opposite side of where my circle girls are. Last question is, will you come back to Minnesota again when things are safe? Yes. I will do this live and come back to Minnesota. So hopefully we can get out of this soon. But in the meantime, keep sharpening up those skills, and hopefully I get to see you girls soon. I was planning on coming this summer because last time I came it was really cold, but we'll see. So thank you so much everyone for having me. Pete, thanks for coordinating this, and hopefully I get to see you girls soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, girls. What?
Thanks, Maureen. I hope your dog gets cleaned up.
Yeah. Hey,
No,
Marie, good job.
Thanks. Yeah, now she's barking at me because I'm ignoring her.
They'll get over it.